Yeah, I'm drinking my favorite beer, Modelo Negro. Mi favorita cerveza es Modelo Negra. I know a little bit of Spanish. I'd like to learn more. I like drinking beer and smoking weed. Like my new apartment. Don't want to get to know anybody in the neighborhood. People nowadays are fucking crazy. They could be bisexual weirdos on meth or just meth heads or you never know what the fuck they are. I'm running out of juice in my lighters. Yup. I think the mental hospital scared me because they were funded all my payments and I cursed the doctor. I believe this may sound nuts that since I'm born on the feast of Saint Michael, an ancient calendar, now it's the feast of the archangels, that I'm somehow connected with Saint Michael. And Saint Michael's also the angel of judgment and the angel of death. I believe I can cause people's death just by willing it. Because usually the people I will to die, they're really shitty fucking people who take advantage of people and don't give a fuck about anybody else but themselves. And to tell you the truth, most of them have been white, you know. And I know I'm white, but um, only one person really ripped me off that was black, and it was a black woman. She stole my $300 laptop after I had sex with her and let my guard down. I don't like thieves because, granted, if you're a millionaire, $300 ain't shit to you. But $300 is working like 4 days pretty hard for me. And I am really fucked up and I enjoy it. I think getting really fucked up is good for you if you do it occasionally. Do it all the time, or you do it before you go to work, then you're fucked up. Do it before you drive, etc., etc., etc. I'm voting straight Republican. The Democrats have gotten to be loons. I'm the only person in my family who's held on to his original values. All the rest of my family goes by whatever the boob tube says, which it is the boob tube, definitely. This is YouTube, and then there's the boob tube. ABC, NBC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, CNN, the boob tubes. I'm going to get another Modelo Negra unless I have some left. I have some left. I'm going to drink some. Mi favorito cerveza. Favorita cerveza. Boy, I am fucked up and I enjoy the fucking hell out of it. I'm going to the Knights of Columbus bowling thing Thursday night, and it'll be good to see guys who agree with me politically, even though they're a better financial position than me. But I'd rather lose my Social Security check than my freedom, especially my religious freedom and freedom of speech. I'm not going to call some 6-foot muscular guy with a beard who wears a dress her. I mean, it's gotten so fucking ridiculous. You know, my grandpa was right. The Equal Rights Amendment, he said that's going to lead to men and women using the same bathrooms. And it did eventually. It fucking did. It fucking did. All this equal rights bullshit did lead to that. Oh, I'm opening beers without finishing the last one. This one's cold. But I'm on my 5th beer. I like drinking beer. I like getting whiskey bent and hellbound. Except for I don't like whiskey. I like beer. Well, Biden looks like he's losing a lot of popularity. Yeah, I am drunk and I am stoned. Immaculate. I love being drunk and stoned. Shit, I hope I don't run over later. It's only 6:30 p.m. Fuck, I have plenty of time to get another one, but I don't feel like walking anymore. Here's my chillum. Where's my chillum? There's my chillum. Has Delta 8 THC in it, legal in the state of Nebraska. That's all the weed I'm smoking tonight. This is my last beer right here. Modelo Negra, my favorite beer. Well, what can I say? In 1985, when I graduated high school, I couldn't have imagined guys with dicks and balls who took female hormones, who grew tits, calling themselves female, and just because they wore makeup, competing in women's sports and winning the events. You know, my parents don't seem to be completely brainwashed by TV, and my kids have been brainwashed by the education system. But don't you find it a little bit weird about a guy with balls and penis? Maybe he has tits, maybe he doesn't, but he dresses like a girl and maybe gets electrolysis, removes his beard, and he puts on makeup and uses the same restroom as like 7-year-old girls. And actually, there was a case of one guy, one trans, raping a young girl. And if he did that to one of my grandchildren, as long as I had strength, I'd light him on fire with gasoline and watch him burn and laugh as he writhed in agony. I'm a mean motherfucker if you cross me. I try to avoid conflict at all possible. I won't challenge anybody to a fight. I actually ran from two guys chasing me with knives because I knew that I was going to, even if I won, I was going to get cut pretty bad. Believe it or not, it's pretty hard to block knives because the only place you can block them is like right here. And that's because there's no arteries right there, just bone, but it would really get sucked to get cut to the bone right there and have to have umpteen stitches and bleed all over the fucking place, and it would hurt. The guys who chased me with knives, honestly, if they didn't have knives and clubs, I would have kicked both their asses really fast. I hope they both fucking die or go to prison. They probably will go to prison, and they probably will. I probably will outlive them, even though they're younger than me, because they're fucking morons. And that's the type. They were white, but just like the media feels sorry for fuck ups, like people who rob people and stuff. They say, "Oh, they were abused or they're economically oppressed or blah blah blah." So we need to give them video games in prison and cable TV and all kinds of shit to keep them entertained. Well, I say put them back to fucking hard labor. 12 out from sun up to sundown. And then they just are so tired they go to sleep and they get lunch breaks and dinner breaks and they eat breakfast. And that's all they fucking do. And if they want to read, that's fine. Or they want to get their GED, that's fine. But no fucking pornography, no fucking cable TV, no fucking weight rooms, no fucking any of that shit. Video games. And if you get caught raping another inmate, you get taken out back and bullet put in your brain. And if you kill a guard, you get a bullet put in your brain. And if you kill another inmate, unless it's in self-defense, you get a bullet in your brain. They really want to solve the crime problem. They want to solve the meth problem. Make it the death penalty if you possess over a half pound of cocaine. I mean, of cocaine or meth. That would really be good. But everyone would be crying, oh, poor Bobo, poor whatever. He's on his 56 conviction. We should try to reform him. Oh, poor whatever. His name is, whether he's white trash, black trash, Mexican trash. He's only been in trouble 15 times. We can change him at the taxpayer's expense. That's the main reason I'm Republican, because I've seen, actually in Omaha, you can get all your groceries for free if you're poor. There's no reason for you to get hungry. They won't buy you cigarettes or booze, but tell you the truth, there's so many organizations that are out there to help you and help you to get back on your feet. You got to be a fool not to be able to. And maybe if you're that much of a fool, you belong being in a state institution. And not that state institutions should be abusive or bad, but by no means should they be the Paris Hilton either, because if it was like desirable, people don't understand like basic psychology, like behavior psychology, which actually was explained, which people had years ago. They used to have severe penalties for fucking up, and then you were rewarded with your wages and being able to have a family and all that stuff if you were good. And what they used to do is they used to send you stuff like hard labor, or at least in prison, they wouldn't have TVs. It was very, very fucking boring. So people didn't want to go there. But fuck, if you're a fuck up who sleeps in random apartment buildings, sneaks in and sleeps in them, then fucking jail might be a step up for you. And to tell you and also, I know of a lot of people who claim to be disadvantaged, but yet they have money to gamble on crazy machines all day at convenience stores. And I know of another guy who's actually white and a disabled veteran. He gets, if I made as much as him on being a disabled veteran, I might not even work part-time. That's how much he makes. And yet he can't pay his rent because he goes with younger gals, buys them meth, and pays for them and him gambling. And therefore he can't pay his rent or his utilities because he's spending it on gambling, whores, and meth. You know, if you have the bad habits of gambling, whores, and meth, probably not ever going to be financially successful or even independent, because the more money you have, the more money you have to gamble with, and the more hoes you can buy, and the more meth you can buy. And I have to admit, I've done meth before, and it does ring a certain pleasure bell in your brain. The only thing is, I'm my own personal way I am is I tend to get manic a lot, and meth sends me into a manic episode, which is usually pretty negative. I get really angry and pissed off, and fucking fidgety, and even once I've done meth like 6 or 7 times, no, like 7 or 8 times, and what it did one time was it made me go into convulsions in my bathroom, and it was really weird because like my brain was feeling really good and on fire, but yet I was flopping around on the floor, and it scared me, so I didn't do it ever since. And also, I don't like, most of the time when I'm on meth, I haven't liked it because it makes me stay up all night, and I like to fucking sleep. Sleep is sweet to me. It restores my body, restores my mind. Half the reason people go nuts on meth is just from staying up for days on end. Your brain needs sleep. I think that I read something that the REM stage, which is the dreaming stage of your brain, is your brain sorting things out that happen to you during the day and filing away. So if you go without sleep, you go without that process that drives you nuts eventually, and you start hallucinating. Actually, if you just deprive anybody of sleep long enough, they'll start getting really goofy and weird and angry and all kinds of stuff. Your body needs sleep. And I knew a guy when I was in treatment for the first time who stayed up for days on end and went on a car cruise, but his body just gave out and passed out, and he crashed his car and got a DUI for meth. And well, fuck. You can't stay up forever. You're going to sleep sometime, and if you put it off for 5 or 6 or 7 days, you might just pass out behind the wheel. And plus, I don't understand why anybody likes being hyper, because it's a peculiar thing to me, but I tend to be a hyper ADHD, bipolar, manic, somewhat schizophrenic person. So, like, first it happens, I get a lot of energy, then I get manic, and then I hardly sleep at all. And then I hardly sleep at all. And then if people are stealing from me or something, I get paranoid and think everybody's like that. I am fucked up. Well, I think I'm going to go to bed. I'm about ready to pass out.